Are you a nurse and you want to work in the United Arab Emirates? That is Dubai, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi. Stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to explain to you each and everything you need to work as a nurse in this country. So if you are new to this channel, my name is Jacob, and basically on this channel I talk about jobs, entrepreneurship, immigration, career guidance. So if you are new, just consider subscribing to my channel. Click a thumbs up if you enjoy my content, and don't hesitate to make your comment right there in the comment section. So if you want to work in the United Arab Emirates as a nurse, one of the most important things is you have to be a registered nurse. You need to be a registered nurse with either a bachelor's degree or a diploma in nursing. You need to have at least your school program of 3 years. At least it has to be a minimum of 3 years in school. If you are an enrolled nurse or anything or a certificate holder, it's going to be quite hard for you to get a job in Dubai and also to get licensed in these countries. Basically, they want registered nurses to work in these countries. Another thing, you need to have at least a minimum of 2 years of experience of working. Wherever you want to go, whether Canada, England, all these places, they want a nurse who has at least 2 years of experience because they don't want to struggle with someone who doesn't have an experience. You need to be having hands-on so that when you go to work, things will be quite very easy for you. Another thing which you need to get is you need to have at least basic life support certification. You need to get that document. If you have advanced cardiac life support, it's also an added advantage, but the minimum is at least you need to get a certification in basic life support. So those are the major requirements you need to work in these countries as a registered nurse. Another thing you need to consider is you need to choose a country where you want to work for, because the licensing bodies are quite different. There are 3 major licensing bodies if you want to work in the United Arab Emirates. There's Ministry of Health, that's MOH. There's HAD, and there's also another license for Dubai, that is DHL. So if you want to work in Dubai, let me say for example of Dubai, you need to process a license for DHA, that is the Dubai Health Authority. It's the one which caters for licensing all 9 licenses in Dubai. So, but if you want to work, let me say in Abu Dhabi, you need to process a hard license, that is the Health Authority of Abu Dhabi. That's the licensing body for nurses there. But if you want to work in another Emirates country, let me say Sharjah, you need to process a license for Ministry of Health license. So these licenses are quite different. But nowadays, it's easier for you to transfer your license. Let me say if you have a DHL license and you want to work in Abu Dhabi and you go to Abu Dhabi, you need to process and transfer your license to her. So things are quite different. But those days, if you had a license for Abu Dhabi, you need to sit exams if you want to go and work in Dubai. So that's how things are quite different nowadays. Licenses can be easily transferable. So I'm going to give you an example. If you're a nurse and you want to work in Dubai and you want to process the license for DHA, what protocols you have to go through if you want to process this license? So we are going to talk about the steps you need to take to work in Dubai as a registered nurse. So basically, in Dubai, to work there as a nurse, you need to be at a registered level of education, whether a degree in nursing or a diploma in nursing. You need to have at least a minimum of 2 years of experience, and also you need to have a certification in basic life support. Those are the initial requirements. You need to work as a nurse there. So after you achieving those requirements and you have them, there's a list of documents required for you to attain your nursing licensure and register with DHA, which is the Dubai Health Authority. So the Dubai Health Authority is the one which you need to get licensed if you are to work in Dubai as a registered nurse, you need to register with Dubai Health Authority. That is the body governing all the nurses and responsible for nursing licensure, basically in Dubai. So what documents do you need to collect if you are to get a license to work in Dubai? So one of the first documents is you need a valid passport. That is a validity of around 6 months. You need a colored passport size photograph with a white background. You need a birth certificate. It's quite very important. You need a 10th and 12th mark sheet. Basically, these are the results of yours on your certificate. Basically, they need those results slip. That's what they mean by the 10th and 12th mark sheet. Then you need the nursing and all midwifery diplomas and registration certificates. All your documents you got from school, your diplomas, your degrees. Basically, this is what they need. Another thing you need is a transcript. Academic transcripts are very important because they show the hours you did, whether medical, surgical, midwifery. All those hours are very important. They need to get those hours and equate them to their system. Number 7 is the employment references. Now, references are quite very important. You just can't get anyone to be your referee. You need to get people who will talk on your behalf, talk good about you, your good character. So you need to get those people who know you and you talk to them to expect a call. In case they get a call from DHA about your character, they should respond very well. So you need to talk to your referees and get referees who will talk good about your character. So this is quite very important. So another thing is you need to get registration certificates from the council. Like if you are in Uganda here, you need to get your license from the nursing council. They need it to show that you've been licensed to practice as a registered nurse in your country. So this one is quite also very important. And the last step is verification of your license. So if on top of getting your license, the nursing council has to verify that that is the right license you've been practicing on. So basically those are the 9 documents you need to collect for you to start the process of applying a DHA to get the licensure to work in Dubai as a nurse. So after gathering all your documents, the next step is create an account with DHA, that is the Dubai Health Authority. So you scan all your documents and create an account with them. So you go through the application form, sign it. There's a small application fee which you have to pay at DHA. So the application fee is around 210 AED, which is paid to them online. That's around $57 if we are to put it in US dollars. And the application has to wait for around 6 weeks for evaluation. So after it, the next step you have to go through is the primary source of verification. So during the primary source of verification, they do document validation, whereby they check for whether your documents are real. So they call your school to find out more about your documents. They call also the nursing council, and they also call up your employer. So basically those are the steps which they go through to validate your papers, to make sure that they are the right papers for you. So also document validation is paid for around 724 AED. That's the amount of money you pay for document validation. So in dollars, that can be around $195 USA dollars. So that's the amount of money you pay for document validation. So all that verification process can take around roughly 3 months. So when all your documents are proven okay and you are eligible to take an exam, so you do a Dubai Prometric exam. So there are a number of Pearson View centers which set this. If you are in Uganda, it can be done in Makerere. There's a Pearson View Center in Makerere where also other guys who go to England do CBT. So you can do that exam there. It costs around 260 AED amount of money. That's roughly around $70. That's the amount of money you have to pay for this exam. So basically, this is a multiple choice exam. It takes around 2 hours with 70 questions. So you have to at least pass 60% of the question. That's 42 questions. So some people take this exams lightly and they end up failing this exam. So you have to take it seriously. Read very well, do your background data so that you can pass this exam. So after passing this exam, you are given an eligibility letter. So that is step 6. So an eligibility letter is given to you and it lasts for 1 year. So this is the letter which you have to take to get employment. When you are seeking for employment in Dubai, you need this letter which shows that you passed the exam. So this letter lasts for you at least a period of 1 year. So during this period, you have to make sure you get a job. So when you get a job, your employer will process for you a work permit and also a residential permit for you. So basically, you need to get a work permit and also a residential visa, which will be equivalent to your employment period, which you will be working in Dubai. So these are the type of visa which will allow you to work in Dubai for all that time when you are on an employment contract. So basically, that is the last step you have to go through if you are to get a license to work in Dubai as a registered nurse. So, what are the benefits of working in Dubai as a registered nurse? So, one of the benefits which Dubai offers is free accommodation and housing allowance. You can't find that in any other country like England or Canada or USA, but you can get it in Dubai. They also give travel allowances, free flight to your home country in case you are off for your leave. They give a relocation allowance. That's also quite very good. Dental, health, and life insurance is also part of the added advantages of working in this country. A 40 days paid leave for nurses employed on full-time basis. A tax-free income. Now let's talk about tax-free income. There is no any other country in Europe, in Canada or USA, there's no any other country which is tax-free, which can give you a tax-free income. That means you get all your salary without any taxes. That's quite a very big advantage. And it's only found in United Arab Emirates. All these countries in United Arab Emirates, they don't tax all the money they pay you. I think it's not accepted in Islam. So basically, you get your money without tax, and that's very important, and it's a very big advantage of working in the Emirates compared to working in any other country. On top of that, they give educational allowance for accompanying children in case you are to go with your children. So basically, those are the offers an employer will give you if you choose to work in Dubai. So basically, that is the employment offer for a nurse who wants to work in the United Arab Emirates. Those are quite very good. Another thing I have to talk about is the salaries. What do registered nurses earn in the United Arab Emirates? Now, they earn between a minimum of 5,000 to 14,000 AED, that is the United Arab Emirates dirham. If we want to put it in dollars, it can be between 1,350 to $3,780. Those are US dollars. So that is the salary range for registered nurses in the United Arab Emirates. So it's not very hard for you to work as a registered nurse in the United Arab Emirates because they don't need IELTS like all these European countries. The process is not so very hard. Within 1 year, if you have all your documents, if you're a registered nurse, you have your experience and you work on your paperwork, within a period of 1 year, you can be working in the United Arab Emirates, whether Sharjah or Abu Dhabi or Dubai. So if you're a nurse and you're interested in working these countries, don't hesitate to follow up on my processes here and follow up on each and everything I've told you and all the procedures. You will be in the United Arab Emirates within a period of 1 year.